Woo! What is going on? We are live coming to you like always on Tuesday, giving you some free coaching. So as you guys are jumping in here, let me know that you're watching this on the replay, hashtag team replay. Watch this on live, hashtag team live. I also want to know where you're tuning in from. Look, if you are watching us in our Facebook group, I know we got a couple places where people are watching us on. If you're watching us from our Facebook group, we give out referrals on a weekly basis. So we want to know where you're from, so we make sure that we can go ahead and get you a referral if it's in your area. So what I want to talk about today is the 4 common mistakes that agents make when they're setting goals, plus how to actually overcome that and create a blueprint for success in 2023. So I want to know right now, if you are excited to dominate in 2023, drop a yes into the comments. You're excited to go ahead and expand your life, your business, your experiences, your relationships. Write a yes into the comments because I want to know if you're dedicated. Now, that's one side of it. The other side of it is, it's funny. I was actually having a conversation with somebody. We just spoke at an event. So we did Sync Summit, where I did a conversion day and then did 2 days of how to go ahead and rise up in any market. And ET spoke, so good to see him. Great guy right there, and always love speaking at the same events as him. So I was talking to this couple, and they're starting to run a brokerage. And I was like, oh, so what are you guys doing for your goal setting, for your blueprint for success for 2023? And they said, we're going to do it. We're super excited. We do it every year, the beginning of January. And it threw me back for a second. The beginning of January. Are you somebody right now listening? Are you somebody who sets your goals before the new year or after the new year? Right? And I said, okay, curious why are you going to do it in January and not beforehand? Well, we have the kids that come down and it's just crazy during the holidays. I said, well, the greatest part about that is you have about 20 days or more to go ahead and do it before the holidays. Right? Now, this isn't one of the mistakes that I put on here, but it definitely is a mistake. Because if you were starting to set your blueprint for success in January, you're probably going to have a less productive quarter, the first quarter of the year. Right? So we want to do this prior. And honestly, I want to do it before the holidays because they're absolutely right. The holidays get crazy, things get busy. For you to take, a full 2 days or so to get away from your business, to step out of your normal activities, to set your goals is very difficult. So in the next 3 to 4 weeks, this is when goal setting must start for 2023. Well, let's talk about it, right? So if you want to go ahead and want to learn what are those 4 common mistakes, maybe you are raising your hand and say, man, I might be making some of these mistakes. Go ahead, drop into the chat and let's see who wants these mistakes, because these mistakes will help you make more money if you identify them before doing it again, right? So once again, we've done this thing for many years. We've set proven goals and strategies on how to actually reach them, not just set them, but how to reach them on a consistent basis year in and year out. So the first mistake is that agents, they don't identify where they are at first, right? So the first thing they're doing, they're not identifying where they are. You're going into your goal setting, right? Hear me? And you're setting your goals for where you want to go, but you don't know where you are. Think about this. Have you ever gotten to your car, put your destination into the GPS, right? And you got there, right? Because what did your car know? What did the GPS know? It knew where you were at. It knew where you were at. So it knew if you are here, in order to take you here, here are the steps. But you're setting goals when not truly identifying where you're at. Not just like, oh, where's my numbers at? I'm talking about deep question asking to identify where you are so that you could go ahead and figure out where you want to go, right? We call these plugging the holes in a ship before you set sail. Mistake 1, stop setting goals before understanding the value of where you currently are in your life, your business, your relationships, and so on. We'll get into that in a second. Don't be the person that sets all these amazing goals, but you don't tell your GPS where you're at, because it's going to be much harder to get there. Okay? If that makes sense, go ahead and say makes sense into the comments. I want to make sure you guys are with me here. Let's not set goals without identifying where we're at first. GPS knows where we want to go, aka what your goals are. We got to know our starting point. That's mistake 1. Mistake number 2 is they don't set up their goals in all areas of life. So I'm curious to know, when you're setting your goals, are you setting them in every area of life? Or are you mainly focusing on what most people focus on, the three spots, which is business, health, and then sometimes finances? But sometimes some people put finances into business, and it's actually separate. So you say, John, what are these areas of life? Right? What are these areas of life? See, at the Real Estate Mastery Coaching, we teach people these are the 6 areas that create you as a human. So why would you not identify first where you're at in those 6 areas and then where you want to go? Because there's a thing called success consciousness. If you don't figure out what it is you want in those areas, it's going to be hard to find them. So then you figure by the end of the year, man, my spiritual wasn't where it needed to be. My relationships fell off a little bit. My health isn't where it needs to be. And it's simple. The main reason that's happening is because you are not identifying where you wanted to go in all those areas. You went too broad and you got to go a little deeper. So what are those 6 areas? Write them down really quick. It's going to be health, mental and physical. Personal, which is joy, things you love to do, right? Don't shy away from putting your joy goals in there, your personal goals in there. Number 3 is relationships. Like, who do you want to create a new relationship with this year? What relationship do you need to maybe cut off or stop the toxic patterns that's happening in that relationship? 4 is spiritual, whatever that means for you, right? Spiritual goals, law of attraction, God, whatever it is for you. 5, business. This is structure, systems, processes, right? So it's about how many people we're recruiting, right? It's about what kind of CRMs we're looking to get, right? It's about what are my pillars of business, right? That is business. Then you have the other part, which is number 6, equity, which is finances, money in, money out. How much money do you want to make, right? What do you need to pay off, right? Money in, money out. So I'll go back one more time. Mistake 2 is you're not setting goals in all 6 areas, okay? So therefore, by the end of the year, you feel a void in certain parts of your life. Well, if you just were to set those goals and those intentions prior, you'd have a much higher likelihood of hitting them. So what is it again? It's going to be your joy, right? Things you love to do, your relationships, your health, mental and physical. Right? It's going to be your spiritual, whatever that is that you believe in or you want to connect with more. It's going to be your business. Remember, structures, systems, processes. That's CRM. That's your pillars of your business, right? That's your social media content. That is all those things. Then number 6 is your finances. Make sure mistake 1 is identify where you're at. And mistake 2 is that you're not setting goals in those areas. So make sure you're setting goals in all of those areas. Let's go to mistake number 3. They don't identify who they need to become to hit those goals. Ooh, I want you guys to read this for a second. Read it, because this is probably one I see most people miss. They want all these things, but they don't truly know who they need to become. Oh, I know I need to create these habits. Yeah, that's one part of it. What about your values, right? What about the environment you're in that helps create the person who you are? Because realize you are a product of your environment. Start identifying who you need to become. Because if you just are identifying the things you want in life, it's going to be a tough road to get there, because what you have is perfect for who you are currently. What you have is perfect for what you've done currently. Right? If you want more, you gotta change some things on who you are. Change some characteristics, right? And I'm not telling you that I'm sitting here saying that I'm exactly who I need to be to where I want to go, because it is an everyday evolution of change. Evolution of, okay, nope, I went back to some old tendencies, time to get back on track. Who do you need to become? Do you need to become somebody who's more disciplined? Somebody that says no more? Somebody that invests in something for accountability? Do you need to be somebody who actually pays more attention to the small details that helps you win big? Who do you need to become? You want to make it $300,000, $400,000 next year? You're $600,000, $700,000. Who do you need to become? Who do you need to become? Right? Mistake 3 is most people don't identify who they need to become. They're only trying to identify what they want. And it doesn't work that way. You got to first understand who you need to become. What are your values? What are the habits you need to stop? What are the habits you need to start? Right? You guys with me? Drop a yes into the chat. Right? Into the comments. I'm going to say in chat now, because obviously Zoom is life now. So I would say chat, but jump into the comments. All right, mistake 4. Let's dive in. Mistake 4, last but not least. They don't, look at this. Let me just do this right here, because I know got some people that are like, you did something wrong. You didn't go ahead and do the right. spelling, you can do this, you can do that. So there we go. Ready? 7 stone goals on how to get there. Here we go. Some people are going to be happy with me now. All right. So now, boom, mistake 4, right? They don't create stepping stone goals on how to get there. Like a blueprint is not just, this is what I want. It's this is how I get there. This is how I get there. Now, there's a caveat to this. Some of us, and tell me if this is you. Say me into the chat if this is you. Say me if this is you. When you're setting goals, you're immediately thinking about how I can get there. Is that you? Drop a yes into that, because this is huge, guys. This was one of the biggest things that, when we talk about our proven repeatable system on how to set and achieve goals, what we found is a lot of people are setting these goals, but in the middle of setting them, like, oh, how am I going to get there? Man, I said I was going to make myself $300,000, $400,000. I was going to go ahead and do this and do that. And it's like, how am I going to get there? And maybe you're the type of person that starts to scratch that goal off and you start to go a little lower. I'm not going to do 300, I'll make 200. Right? Or you overwhelm yourself with how I'm going to get there. So you give up on goal setting, or you say, I just got to get through this and be done. And then you never look at it again. Stop trying to figure out how to get there right away. See, these stepping stone goals are crucial for that blueprint for success after you figured out what you want. Because if you're telling the brain, this is what I want, the brain immediately is going to be like, bro, you've never been there before. How are you going to get there? How are you going to do it? And you have to stop in that moment. Like, the how doesn't matter right now. The how doesn't matter right now. The how doesn't matter. It's about what I want. The how's going to come when I'm done figuring out what I want. Because if you try to figure out the how during the process of what you want will collapse down into a much smaller goal. Guaranteed. So mistake 4, they don't create stepping stone goals on how to get there, or they're trying, hear me, to create stepping stone goals in the process of figuring out what they want. Nope, because what you want, we come back another day later and do the stepping stone goals. Those are your 4 mistakes. Once again, we'll go through them again for anybody that just jumped on. Mistake 1, you're not identifying where you're at before you set goals. Mistake 2, you're not setting goals in all areas of life. Mistake 3, you're not identifying who you need to become in order to get what you want. And then mistake 4 is you are not setting up stepping stone goals, or you're doing it way too early in the goal setting process. So here's what I want for you guys. That was 4 mistakes. First off, any of those mistakes feel like it hit home for you, right? Or maybe none of them hit home because maybe you don't even understand if it hits home. But are you tired of every single year setting these goals and just missing the mark, right? Or hitting the mark in one area but not in the other areas, or being overwhelmed about goal setting, or being overwhelmed about, man, how do I create a process to become the person I need to become to hit the goals that I want? I know, I get it. But we've all been there before. And so that's why we have a Blueprint for Success workshop, an Ultimate Year workshop that we're doing next week. So if you want access to that Blueprint for Success workshop, go ahead and drop the word goals below, or just goal. You make it singular. Drop the word goal below. Like, the Blueprint for Success there's a method for it. There's a method, there's a process for it. If you're currently not happy with where you're at, and you're currently somebody who is struggling with setting goals, getting a bigger picture of what you want, understanding how to reach it, understanding what habits need to stop, what habits need to start. If you're somebody that any of those pain points feel like it hits home, and you're tired of every single year setting goals and missing the mark, and you're frustrated with looking at your numbers right now, or looking at your health, or looking at pieces of your life saying, man, how did I let it go away? All right, how did I let this just slip away? Well, there's a very good chance it started with what happened when you set your goals, when you set your intention. Okay, so comment the word goal below to get access to our Blueprint for Success workshop. Goal below, right? We'll get you access to it. But it's only for people that are serious, that really want to make a change in 2023. We're going to walk you through it. 2-day workshop. It's virtual. It's next Wednesday, next Thursday from 10 to 12 Central Time. It is a 1,000%, 1,000,000% chance that you will be able to understand the goal setting process better, create more confidence, and give you the ability to actually achieve these goals. It's not just about goals that are set. It's about goals that are met. It's not just about the habits that are set. It's about the habits that are met. And it starts with next week on our Blueprint for Success, showing you how to achieve those goals, showing you how to achieve those habits that you're trying to create. Let 2023 be the best year you've ever had. Let 2023 be the year you stepped up when some people stepped out. Let 2023 be this catapult into a whole nother level and unlocking a whole new level of opportunity, experiences, and relationships for you. But let next week, Wednesday and Thursday, be that first part of it. If you don't do this, when are you going to do your goals? After the holidays? During the holidays? Are you going to do it the right way? Or are you going to do it the same old way you've been doing it, getting the same results that you got? Nothing changes if nothing changes, right? Nothing changes, nothing changes. Comment the word goal below so you get access to our Blueprint for Success workshop next week. All right. If you have any questions, obviously hit me up. We're here to help. Obviously, we want to make sure that you guys get the resources and confidence and clarity you need to join this workshop. But I'll be honest with you guys, it's a no-brainer. Once I send you guys the information, and you're gonna be like, okay, I don't even need to think twice about it. You're gonna pull the trigger. So reach out, we'll give you the information, pull the trigger, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday and Thursday on that Blueprint for Success in 2023 workshop, giving you the ultimate year, best year you've ever had. Reach out if you need me. Otherwise, comment the word goal and our team will reach out to you. See you guys next week.